Yeah, I think Tom Brady might be the MVP favorite, except they also lost last week to the Saints. And if the Saints had closed out the Falcons, the Saints would be tied with the Bucs in the division. It's a wide open. We need to look and see what those odds are on. I was thinking about this earlier. That's a great question.
I'm not going to try to take this in a crazy direction or get off the rails.
Not Jalen Hurts. Don't say it, Deebo.
I think today the loss proved that how valuable Aaron Rodgers is to the Packers. There is
great point. Great point.
Zero chance that Aaron Rodgers wins. He can run the table, throw 4 touchdowns a game, and I don't think the media is going to give it to Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't. Well,
it's not happening.
Is there any particular reason you don't think the media will give it to Aaron Rodgers?
Like I said, events of the past week. The media
the past 48 hours or the past week
will not give it to Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, look, we talked about this before the season with respect to Lamar Jackson and Kirk Cousins and how it's not a COVID take, it's not a vaccine take, it's not a political take. It is simply you're betting on football, and you have to take into account all the different factors. Like if you bet on the Packers win total, and I mean, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers could have missed a game anyway. Because, we saw Devontae Adams wouldn't even clear till later last week, and he was vaccinated. But the point being is that if you bet on the Packers win total, you may have just lost a win. Now, they're probably going to get over it anyway, and they're probably going to win the division. It's not a big deal. But you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, and we just know that the MVP is very much a media award. As 100%. Much as it is on-field accomplishments, there's a lot of narrative, not even Rodgers related, but going back to guys that probably should win it in back-to-back years, but aren't afforded that opportunity because you want to give it to someone new.
The media doesn't like to give it to somebody. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Keep going, dude.
No, I mean, your favorite sport, the NBA, LeBron should have way more than – he hasn't won an MVP since 2013. Should not be the case.
Should we give it to Ryan Tannehill?
I don't hate it. Let me get those odds up.
No, I don't think it should be. You know what, though? It is everybody cratered today except for Brady because he didn't play. And you look at
Brady is 3.5 to 1 now.
Well, the thing is that, here's the thing, and we'll talk about this later with the Packers. So I don't want to go into it too much right now, but teams have proven they could win this year with backup quarterbacks. We saw Cooper Rush win. We saw Colt McCoy win. The Packers threw their quarterback in, who was a first-round pick who has been in the system for a year and a half, and he fell flat on his face. So
scroll down a little bit, and you'll see that Cooper Kupp is actually the first non-quarterback listed at 150 to 1. I would posit that anybody behind Cooper Kupp is probably is it so wide open that somebody could storm through here? A quarterback who's deep. I'm thinking about, but man,
see who's right there, Breech. See, he's just hanging out right there, Breech.
Jalen Hurts. I see him.
No, I mean, I see someone.
Oh, I know. You don't think I'm betting on the Colts to win the Super Bowl, buddy?
Baker?
Nah.
Revenge story?
Yeah.
No, to answer your question, no.
Yeah. So, and look, this is what the sports books do for any sporting event, right? Anytime you're betting on. The Super Bowl odds are probably fairly similar. They've concentrated all of these guys who are – it's basically the race is down to – I mean, I guess you can't include Mahomes, right? Burrow, Derek Carr.
You cannot include Mahomes.
I'll tell you this. Derek Carr, and they just lost too, which is annoying. If they beat the Giants, Derek Carr – actually, wait, Ryan Tannehill at 70 – ooh. Ryan Tannehill at 75 to 1 is worth a stab.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think Tannehill, besides Brady,
and I didn't hear you say Tannehill. Sorry.
Yeah, that was that's how this whole thing started, Brinson.
I don't think Derek Carr's out of the mix.
Yeah, if I were taking a stab on any of the flyers, it would be Carr, Tannehill. I don't think Burrow's crazy. I don't think he's going to win, but they're 5-4. They can still win the division. I think Breech's division winning thing is important here. The other thing on Mahomes is. Again, all these good teams lost. The Chiefs didn't look great, but they won. And we got half a season left. You can win this. You can win the MVP in 6 games, 4 games, 8 games. If Mahomes went 8 games nuclear, somehow just flipped it after that last drive, the media would be, the 50 voters would love to give it to him.
The reason I think Tannehill is now intriguing is because they just won without Derrick Henry.
Of course.
And they got all their difficult games out of the way. They just played the stretch of Buffalo, Kansas City, Indianapolis, Rams. Those are, I mean, there are probably people that thought they were going to go 1-3 or 2-2 in that stretch. And they went 4-0. And then you look at the rest of their schedule. They still have to play the Texans twice. They still have to play the Dolphins. They still have to play Jacksonville. They have San Francisco. A lot of very winnable games where Tannehill could put up some impressive numbers. Although I don't think he's been super impressive all season because Derrick Henry's obviously been carrying the load there. But he's played well enough that he can rise to the top if he plays well down the stretch.
I don't think that's crazy. Just looking real quick, and I saw someone in chat mention that there's no chance that that Patrick Mahomes can win the award. I would point out that I believe in 2014, what did the Green Bay Packers fall to? What did 2014 when Aaron Rodgers said relax?
Oh yeah, when he spelled it out at that pros. Was it
Who they lost to? They lost to the Saints. That was the Broncos. Why did I think?
Yeah, they were 1-2. I just remember they
lost to the Seahawks. They beat the Jets. They lost to the Lions. They're 1-2. Is that when he said it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because maybe that's different then because that's not 8 games into the season. But Aaron Rodgers at that point said, "Relax, everybody, chill the f out," and he won MVP that year. Now
it was that week. It was after that loss to the Lions.
Again, I'm not saying that I don't think the Chiefs look like a great team at all. I mean, I think they're a problem. But Patrick Mahomes has the weapons. He has the coaching staff. They are within striking distance of winning the division.
But that was after 3 games in 2014 where Rodgers was like, yeah, the talent's here and I know it. We haven't heard Patrick Mahomes say, hey, we're going to flip the switch here and start putting up 40 points a game. It seems like everybody in Kansas City is a little concerned.
No. There's a reason he's 40-1. I don't think it's like a good bet per se. I think it's a long shot. They haven't had their bye. They have the Packers, the Raiders, because they beat the Packers, obviously, and got lucky with Rodgers. They have the Raiders on the road, Monday Night Football, or Sunday Night Football. Cowboys, bye, Broncos, Raiders, at Chargers, Steelers, at Bengals, at Broncos. I'm just saying if Mahomes spent the next, 9 weeks? He's got 9 weeks. If he went nuclear for 9 weeks, he could steal the MVP.
If you had to bet $100 on it now and you had to put it on either Ryan Tannehill or Patrick Mahomes, who would you bet on? Those are the only 2 options.
That's a good question. Let me see who the Titans have left.
What about Dak?
9-1, I don't hate.
I just told you some of the Titans. They have the Dolphins, the Texans twice, and Jacksonville. That's 4 there.
They haven't had their bye either. I mean, if the Titans get the number 1 seed without Derrick Henry, isn't Ryan Tannehill just winning it? Like if they're the number 1 seed and unless it's like all Adrian Peterson and defense, I mean, then obviously that won't happen. But I mean, if they get the number 1 seed and they are in really good shape to do it,
let's just forget it. Brady's winning it. I don't know why we're having this conversation.
They're 7-2 now.
7-2.
They're in really good shape to get the 1 seed.
They are in great shape.
19-20. The problem is I don't know that he's going to have the volume, production, and the stats to win it in that Titans offense. Which, they didn't run the ball a ton. They weren't successful running it, but I guess he did have a rushing touchdown too.
They have 5 of their next 7 games at home.
Man, I'll tell you this. I'm going to bet Patrick Mahomes and bet Ryan Tannehill and maybe think about betting Derek Carr.